All right, welcome to today's lesson. Today we're going to be looking at mixed and improper fractions today. To get started, we have to understand a concept about fractions, that fractions are equally divided parts of a whole. And so to give you an example of that, I have four equal sized parts right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And together, when I put them together, they make one whole piece, just like that. That's one whole. If I take them apart again, just like this, I have four equally sized pieces over 4, which makes one whole. So I'd show this fraction like this, 4 pieces over 4 like this, and that equals one giant whole number, just like that. If I take one of these pieces away, that would leave me with 3 out of 4, 2 out of 4, 1 out of 4, and eventually 0. If I put them all back, there's 1 out of 4, 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4, and then again, 4 out of 4, which equals one whole piece. Now that we understand that fractions are parts of a whole, and that when we have all our pieces together out of the possible pieces, 4 out of 4, we get one whole number. So the reason why this is important, because what if we have something like this where we have 2 whole 4 out of 4s, and then we have 2 little pieces like that, 2 out of 4. So if we look at this, we end up with what's called a mixed fraction. Because right here we have 4 out of 4, which equals one whole piece. Here again we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 4, which equals another whole piece. And then over here we have 2 out of 4, which is not a whole piece. And so right now we put this all together, and you'll notice that we have 2 whole pieces. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 whole plus 1 whole is 2 whole pieces. And then we have a leftover fraction that's extra. That's 2 pieces out of 4. And so we just write that next to it. 2 pieces out of 4. So you can see now that we have, this is a mixed fraction right here. We have 2 whole pieces and an extra 2 out of 4. If I add on another piece like this to this row right here, all of a sudden now I have 2 whole pieces, 1, 2, and now we have 3 pieces out of 4. So this would change to a 3 like this. And now we have 2 wholes and 3 fourths. And last but not least, if I add on one more piece like this, we now have 4 out of 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. We have 4 out of 4. And we know that whenever our denominator and numerators match up together, we get one whole piece. And now you can see we have 3 whole pieces. 1 plus 1 plus 1. And we have a whole 3, just like that. And so that's our introduction to mixed fractions. Now mixed fractions are related to improper fractions because there's another way we can show these fractions as well. As instead of mixed, we can show them in an improper way. So I'm going to keep working with our groups of 4 still, but this time I'm going to give you a number first. This time, working with improper fractions, here we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have a total of 12 pieces, and we're grouping them up by 4s. So 4 pieces, 4 pieces, 4 pieces, and so our denominator is going to be 4. This is called an improper fraction. It's improper because our number on top is larger than our number on the bottom. And what this tells us right now is that this is our total number of individual little pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that we're grouping them up into groups of 4. 4, 4, 4. This gets a little tricky now. What if I add in 2 more pieces like this? This is no longer 12 over 4. Instead, now we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now we have 14, still grouping them up into 4s just like this. And so now we have an improper fraction. What about if this was a mixed fraction? We can still show this as a mixed fraction. Here, our improper fraction is 14 out of 4. But it's also equal to the same thing in a mixed fraction. take a look at the wholes. How many whole pieces do we have? 1 whole piece, 2 whole pieces, 3 whole pieces. So we know we have 3 whole pieces. And then how many extra pieces out of 4 do we have? 2. And they're grouped up into groups of 4. Just like that. And so now we know that when we see 14 out of 4, that's the same thing as 3 wholes and 2 fourths. They're equal to each other. The last thing I want to show you as we wrap up today's lesson is how we can use a mathematical calculator to calculate our answers and to check if our answers are right. Now that we understand what these fractions represent, now how do we calculate them together? One quick way to calculate and check to see if your mixed fraction equals your improper fraction correctly is to use some addition and subtraction. So once you found your mixed fraction, the first step you want to do is take your whole piece, which is 3, and you want to times it by 4. Push the equal button, and that will give you 12. And then you add the 12 to the 2, which equals 14. You take that 14, and then you just carry over the denominator from the bottom over 4. And now we know through the math and using our calculator and our multiplication and division, addition, we now know that our mixed fraction is accurate to our improper fraction. That's today's lesson on mixed and improper fractions. I hope that helps you out. Good luck, and try some on your own.